Breaking news, folks, coming out of TNA Impact Wrestling. Somoa Joe, who has recently been featured as a big part of the new heel faction, the Beatdown Clan, and who will be wrestling live at ICW March 20th, where the Strike Zone, myself, Jason Jasinowski, Immortal Mike Sorkin, Nate Grist, will be there live, broadcasting, interviewing Tommy Dreamer, also on the card, Armando Alejandro Estrada, Greek Papa Don, and many other, Damian Demento, and many others on that card. But breaking news, folks, Somoa Joe quitting TNA Wrestling. Somoa Joe, obviously one of the staples of TNA Wrestling. This is very similar to when AJ Styles could not agree to a new contract and parted ways with the company just over a year ago, I believe, last January. And Somoa Joe's gone, folks. Certainly when he came in, and I believe it was 2004, 2005, had that dominant, undefeated run. Kurt Angle came in and beat him right away. I never quite agreed with that. I always felt he should have beat Kurt, and Kurt should have got the win back in time. It shouldn't have been the other way around. I thought that hurt Joe's momentum. Joe, of course, a former champion. Joe, and this is a point that Haley Imes had made, part of many factions throughout the years, Main Event Mafia, the Beatdown Clan most recently, and many factions, and I believe this might have hurt Joe's character. Joe's character is not a character that really needed to be in a plethora of factions. When Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff came in, I don't believe they were high on Joe in 2010. I believe that further hurt Joe's stock. But Joe has repeatedly chosen to stay with TNA Wrestling and not pursue a further career in the WWE, which even going to NXT, I mean, you saw Rhino pop up at NXT recently. Who knows who you see pop up in NXT? And I mean, they bring in Somoa Joe. You can get Somoa Joe versus Kevin Owens, that dream match that, to my knowledge, has never happened. Might have an independent that I'm not aware of, but to my knowledge, I've never seen that advertised, and I've never seen that happen. I'd love to see that as a dream match. Never been on a big stage, that's for sure. A Ring of Honor, TNA even type stage, never mind WWE or NXT. So, what's next move for Somoa Joe? Certainly a veteran in the business. May he pursue MMA like his friend CM Punk. I believe he's more cut out to do that than CM Punk. Personally, it's my personal opinion, no disrespect to Punk, who I know is training hard finally and getting ready for his big debut, which is supposedly going to be October from what I'm hearing. But it's big news, folks. Somoa Joe. Believe he was in TNA about a decade, 2015, believe he came in 04, over a decade Somoa Joe was there. A true TNA Hall of Famer. I mean, they put in guys like Angle and Team 3D, who came in elsewhere, and even Sting, but guys like AJ Styles, Daniels, and Kazarian, and now Joe, all pillars which would help build TNA Impact Wrestling to what it is today, still around today, and it's unfortunate. Somoa Joe parting ways with the company. It's unfortunate for TNA Wrestling. It's unfortunate for Dissy Carter, who I know has got to be taking this hard. She, I feel like, takes her relationships with her wrestlers to like a personal level, and she, you know, it's killing her to see people like Bubba and Sting show up in the WWE, and, you know, they got Angle to stay, and they put the belt on Angle in recent tapings, and I don't agree with that move either. I feel like Angle's a broken down old man, and that's why Triple H and WWE didn't go after him and didn't make a bigger move to go after him. I believe they'll get him to put him into the real Hall of Fame maybe in 10 years, but no time soon. But certainly an unfortunate situation TNA finds themselves in. The last thing they need to do is lose even more star power. Somoa Joe, one of the last originals, certainly was trying to be featured heavily in the Beatdown Clan. And it looked like, you know, he was at least embracing and kind of trying to have fun with that. You know, inspired by the Wu-Tang Clan. Seemed like he was a hip-hop fan, trying to embrace that element. But Somoa Joe, now a free agent. I know he's going to be at ICW Live March 20th in New York, Queens Boulevard. And you know what? So's the Strike Zone. Going to be myself, Jason Jasinowski, Immortal Mike Sorkin, the whole crew. We're going to be there with the equipment, broadcasting live, hoping to get a chance to talk to people like Tommy Dreamer, Armando Estrada, and others. So certainly, as Vince McMahon says, I hate the fact that I sneeze. I can't control sneezing. Gotta love live broadcasts. Almost sneezing on the air. But look, folks, certainly this is more than something to sneeze at for TNA Impact Wrestling. Somoa Joe, one of the longest tenured competitors, former champion, my opinion, a TNA Hall of Famer, gone from the company. Another one bites the dust. Could Austin Aries be next? Guess we'll see. Developing story coming out of TNA Impact Wrestling. It's my thoughts. What's yours? Joe Passarelli, Somoa Joe. After over a decade in TNA Impact, he's gone. Joe Passarelli. Make sure to subscribe. Joe Passarelli channel, Joe Passarelli Show. Make sure to subscribe to the Wrestling Throwdowns with Haley Imes, featuring myself, Christopher Sterling, Corey Vaughn, been featured on recent episodes, and Michael Miner, a cast of many great people with the Wrestling Throwdown. And look, folks, Immortal Seats, where you want to get your cool hoodies and your merch, and you want to get your tickets to sporting events, including ICW, where Somoa Joe will be wrestling live at ImmortalSeats.com. And check out the Strike Zone each and every Thursday, including this week live, 8 to 10 p.m., RICRadio.org. You want to call in with sports takes, 401-456-8787, 401-456-9946. And you really want to call in this week, because you may have a chance to win not one, but maybe two chances to win tickets to the Boston Pro Marathon show coming up this week. Call in, make sure you're available for that Saturday, and we'll put your ticket, and you have your chance to pick up your tickets at will call live in Boston. Boston Pro Marathon. I hate sneezing. Boston Pro Marathon presents, live wrestling. You want to check that out? You have chances to win possibly for the Friday show and the Saturday show. Who's going to be featured on the Friday show? We're interviewing him, a member of the Spirit Squad, Kenny Dykstra, live in the Strike Zone this Thursday. You want to tune in for that. Also, the Greek Papadon. Achoo! I hate sneezing! Also, the Greek Papadon from ICW calling in live as well. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be a jam-packed Strike Zone. We're going to be talking Daytona 500, Bruins, Celtics, trade deadline, and more. Call in, tune in. Achoo! And for God's sakes, don't sneeze while you're on the air. I hate sneezing! 90.7 WXIN, RICRadio.org, the Strike Zone, this Thursday, 8 to 10 p.m. And folks, Joe Passarelli, like, subscribe, and don't sneeze while you're on the air. Peace.